Welcome to the exciting and new Minipod podcast. I'm Jason.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Brian.
Brian, introduce our guest.
Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Carrie.
That was so mean. Come on.
Can I introduce Jason to introduce Brian to introduce Carrie? Who is this Carrie character?
I didn't mean like, introduce yourself. I meant introduce yourself.
Oh, like that kind of introduce yourself.
Exactly.
The trilogy has been now completed. We have all three Alpin children on this podcast. Ooh, should I not say Alpin? Did I dox you? You can cut that out if you want to.
And, well, my last name's on like my Instagram and everything.
Okay, good. Then no
True, Papa Bad Kitty. Yeah. That's how he spells his last name.
That's how you spell Alpin.
Is that a silent A?
Yeah. It's our mini pod where we like to talk about things we've watched or did this week. And Andy, you seem to have something you really want to talk about right away.
I kind of stumbled on it today because I was looking for something around 10 o'clock before I watched the movie we're going to talk about. And I found Jackass 4.5.
Oh, yeah, I watched them.
On, was it on Paramount Plus or Netflix? Or I don't even remember.
I think 4.5 was on Netflix because 4 is on Paramount Plus, yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. This movie was hilarious. I mean, it's Jackass. I
loved it.
Oh, my God. I have never seen so much male nudity in my life than I saw in Jackass 4.5. There's a whole scene where they, I'm not even quite sure. Like, this is like clips from the Forever that they did. So it's not, they don't even set stuff up. They just
it's just right into it.
It's just into it. And you are supposed to have seen the 4. So now there's other takes or other people doing the same thing. And Johnny Knoxville does the thing where he dresses up like the old man and they wheel him up to, I guess it's an old age home or a someplace. And the guy that's doing the wheeling up does not know this is a whole setup. And they ring the bell or they do something and like 20 old ass naked men come out and start dancing around and Johnny Knoxville gets up and starts dancing. And what's his name? Who's the guy with the ponytail that's always dancing? Charlie, I forget his name, but he comes out with the boombox and starts grinding on the one guy, and he's just like, "What is going on?" Yeah, it was real fun. So Jackass 4.5. If you like all the other nonsense,
I've watched the Jackass 4.5. I mean,
Michelle watched it with me. There were
funny
times where Michelle said, "Please tell me when the scene's over." Like when they had Steve-O in the outhouse and they
that was horrible.
Turned it over on him, and
that was in the air too. It went. That was just
no. This was not the bungee cord
cameras.
One. This was not the bungee cord one. This is just like he's in it and they like flip it on.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So they open it up and there's just shit everywhere.
The bungee cord one was insane.
Yeah, that was one of the earlier movies. I think that was
that might have been
3
Forever,
or something
right?
like that. But, oh my God, the things they do to each other and. They're trying to hurt each other, and
it's just it's insane.
And the one guy, what's his name? Aaron's the one that he always does the cup tests. So he did the bowling ball. They had him on the bowling alley with his legs spread, and the female bowler just bowled it down on him. And
one of the ones was a female softball pitcher. College softball pitcher.
Oh, right, yeah. And then they had
she was winging the softball, and he's just wearing a cup.
And then they had them all dressed up as clowns with Eric Andre, and the tennis player was just serving the balls at them. Oh. It is the stupidest thing on the planet, but it makes me laugh.
I saw 1 and 2 at the theater with a friend of mine, and it was the only movie where everybody is talking and laughing through the movie.
You can talk.
You have to.
There's no plot. It doesn't. I want to hear what Johnny Knoxville has to say. It's going to be very insane.
As long as you can see, you're good.
They might as well have the lights on.
It's like that kind of movie where it doesn't even matter. You can walk in 20 minutes late. Like, did I miss anything?
Like now they're setting up.
You saw some guy set his dick on fire. That's what you missed. All right. So anyway, anybody got anything else? Jason,
I watched a stand-up special this morning before I watched our movie we're about to watch. It was Tim Dillon, Real Hero. It's on Netflix. Comedian Tim Dillon, real funny. I recommend it. It's just,
do I know him? I don't know.
I think I've said a bunch of his clips to you. He's a gay conservative comedian, and it's just he
makes that work.
He makes it work somehow. Yeah, it's really. It is, and it works for him, and he does really, really well. It's a good special. I think if you like good comedy,
Netflix?
Netflix, yeah. Give it a shot. Tim Dillon.
Cool.
Is it my turn?
Sure.
I guess the last thing I watched was The Invitation. I liked it. I thought it was like a fun movie to watch.
Yeah, I saw the trailer I was talking about earlier, and Andy chimed in on this as well.
Train,
the trailer basically gave away.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah,
the movie.
There was no surprises.
One, so.
That's a disappointment. But you said you didn't like scary movies. That seemed like it would be scary.
Oh, it was not scary at all.
Oh, it was not scary at all.
Not scary at all.
Oh,
really? Because they tried to make it.
There's people like laughing during the movie.
Oh, that's not good. You so, like this? It sounds terrible.
It was
they
terrible.
Definitely tried
to
make it seem
terrible,
like it's going to be
but
scary.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, they tried to make it scary. Yeah, like, it was not scary. You could just hear people like laughing behind us. Connor was laughing.
I was going to say previous guest Connor did not like it.
No, he did not.
That's great. That doesn't surprise me.
That's pretty much safe to say about most things.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't like it. Yeah.
The list of things that Connor likes is small.
What?
Read the IMDb.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the IMDb for Invitation.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they're very short and sweet sometimes, aren't they?
Yes.
It says a young woman is courted and swept off her feet only to realize a gothic conspiracy is afoot.
All right. See, now that's actually a good, not
quick,
spoiling too much kind of thing, because that would like.
Well, they already spoiled everything in the trailer, so
that's what
like,
I'm saying.
why put it in the description
Without
here?
seeing the trailer, I would have been like, "Oh, that sounds like it could be interesting." But knowing that like the guys involved and stuff like that, you're like, "Okay, whatever."
Yeah.
All right. Maybe if it comes on Paramount Plus, I'll watch it. Maybe for free.
Well, see, now the thing is, like, when you're watching these different streamers and everything, you're not like, you're not just going through all the channels like you would on cable.
Well,
so
I agree.
Like,
you have to.
You're not surfing, so you're seeking things out. So you're not you don't stumble upon things as much.
If you had been at Yestercade yesterday, you would have seen the old cable box.
Oh my god,
the 3 flipper and the 9.
Oh yeah.
They had
I remember that.
RCA TV that had to have been 50 years old with an Atari 2600.
And you could play it, right?
I don't know if you could play that. They had televisions specifically set up so you could play NES, PlayStation 1 , Sega, all that kind of stuff.
ColecoVision?
But I took a picture of
television.
They had in television. I took a picture of all the sets, but I think that was just a display, the TV, because it would look.
I still have an original ColecoVision with the box, and the Donkey Kong came with Donkey Kong, and I got about like 10 or 11 other games with it.
I remember we had a game night at your house one time. We played. Was it Larry Bird against Magic Johnson basketball?
Not that one. That was I was even older. We were playing the Sega Genesis basketball.
Okay,
where it was like he's heating up. Remember after like 3 in a row, your ball was.
Let me tell you something. I played that yesterday. NBA Jam with
That's it. NBA Jam.
I was Charles Oakley and Patrick Ewing against Horace Grant and Scottie Pippen because the Bulls, like Michael Jordan, wouldn't let his
didn't give his likeness, right? Yeah,
so they had to use other people. So it was Horace Grant and Scottie Pippen.
That's nice. That's a nice.
They beat me. It's been a long time since I played that game. I was forgetting how to pass and stuff like that.
A friend at work, he put up on eBay 9 Super Nintendo boxes. He was going to throw them out. And he was like, he sells on eBay a lot.
Empty boxes?
Empty boxes. And he put a buy it now for $10. And he said as soon as he put it on, it sold. And then somebody DM'd him and was like, will you take $75 for them? And then he found out that they were worth like over $300.
Wow. Wait. For an empty NES box?
Empty Super Nintendo
Nintendo box.
Yeah.
And
he didn't do any research before he put them up for sale, huh?
That's what he said. He said he almost always does, but since he was going to throw them out, he didn't even bother.
What was he doing with 10 empty boxes,
they were his sons.
What was his son doing with
why do you have
10
10 of them? Why would anybody have ever owned 10 different Super NESs?
I get having an empty box.
No, they were game boxes.
The games.
Games.
Yeah.
Okay.
That makes a little more sense that he had 10 different games.
I mean, it makes no sense, but it makes a little more sense.
But yeah, I never kept my boxes for my video games.
Nah.
And one of the guys
back then, at least until like the CD, when they were coming in like the CD cases, then he kept them obviously. But when they were like cartridges, you just kept the cartridges in like a compartment, like you had a little thing. I held all. They had a really
cool lamp at that Yestercade yesterday with all the Atari games like stacked. So it was whatever.
Oh yeah. Like you could make it.
It looked like a DNA strand with all the arcade games, just like kind of like each one was like a little to the right, so it went all the way up. It looked really cool. The place is really cool. I mean, we got to go back there.
I'm down.
Brady really loved it.
Brady, Logan, and Christine, and was it you were playing that?
What were some of your favorite
four-man
favorite
Pac-Man
games?
games?
Oh no, Frizz.
Oh, Frizz, right? Frizz was playing. Well, I played Tron like 4 times and got better every time, and I was so excited. In fact, before we even got our wristbands, I was like, "Oh, Tron, I'm there." And then
You already had your quarter on it.
well, that's the one thing I got to say that was kind of almost like you could just hit continue. You know,
That's
there's
weird, yeah,
And
because
I
you
was just like, because I played Smash TV. You remember Smash TV?
Yeah.
Smash TV was the best because
I remember that.
That has
Yeah.
2 joysticks, one's to aim the gun and one's to move.
Yeah.
And I just kept hitting continue. So I get killed. I die 3 times within 5 seconds. I'm like,
Normally
continue,
you'd be like,
just keep going.
that's
Yeah.
as far as you got in the game. You were done.
I got so far into the game,
quarters in. You know, you couldn't keep
It
putting
would have
them
cost me
in.
$5 to get that far in the game when I was playing it back in the day, but now it's just kept continuing. So Tron, Smash TV, and NBA Jam. Burger Time was there, Frogger was there,
Cubert?
and Cubert was there, and Dig Dug was there, and none of them were working. Like I
Oh,
tried to play
really?
all. Cubert might have been working. There were
man.
people
Yeah, I
playing
think
that a
Cubert
lot.
was working,
but
yeah.
like as soon as I saw Dig Dug, I was like, cool, and then it just wouldn't start.
that
Like I kept
sucks,
hitting
yeah.
start and it wouldn't work. But the one thing I really liked about the place is all the controllers were really. Like they worked really well. Like sometimes you'll find like an old arcade game at some place.
Oh, yeah, and the controller's messed up,
And you
or
try
even
to move
even
left,
the
and it just
buttons
doesn't
messed up,
move.
yeah.
But all these controllers worked really well. I was really impressed by that. So
That's cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yestercade and Red Bank.
There you go. See, that's a recommendation for
yeah.
yeah.
I challenged Brady to he was playing a pinball machine, and I challenged him, saying I'll beat him. And he's playing and playing and playing. And when he was done, he had like 1.5 billion points, like literally 1.5 billion points. And so I go and I'm playing. And the highest I got, I played twice and was like 200 million.
Wow. So Brady's like a
Yeah, he
savant
is a-
for that.
He was. It was crazy.
They had Kiss Pinball there too, by the way.
That was a picture
Oh, I
you
played
sent
that
that.
when I was
Yeah.
there before.
I was like, Kiss Pinball is awesome. Oh, you guys have been there before? Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. I guess Connor was saying that he knew the restaurants around there and stuff like that.
Yeah,
'cause
he
you guys
like
been
grew
there.
up close to it, so he used to go there all the time when he was
Okay.
younger. And then we just went to a birthday party there last month.
I tried to get Andy to go to Char, and he said
Oh,
no.
it was so good.
Was that the steakhouse?
Yeah, the
Well, it was
steakhouse
already
was
like
so good.
9 o'clock. I think they were closing, weren't they?
They probably were.
I mean, I'll go back there and go eat steak there.
We got to go to a secret stash.
And that was closed too. That closes at
Oh,
like
really?
6 o'clock or something
Why?
like that.
Oh, because those guys actually still work there.
Yeah.
Too. Like,
Like Walt Flanagan
Yeah, and
those
Steve
guys?
Dave and stuff
Oh,
like that.
really?
Yeah. But it's right across the
pretty
street.
cool,
It's
yeah.
like right across the street from
I've been there
Yesterday.
once when it was in the other shop.
I've been to it.
Yeah.
It's moved twice, and I've been to the
Yeah.
other 2 spots.
Yeah, so gotta check this one out. That'd be fun. I mean,
I looked in the window. They had all the outfits in the window.
and that flea market that we're going to go to.
Trenton one.
Yeah, the Trenton Punk Rock, but
Yo,
it's not in Trenton. The
it's
one that's
Edison
not in Trenton.
or
Yeah, the
Edison?
one Brian O'Halloran's going
Right,
to be
he's-
there
he is
from
gonna be there, yeah.
Clerks. So
Oh, that's in Edison?
Don's
Yeah.
yeah. I think it's at that place on 287,
that
right?
Chiller Theater lineup is looking great for October, guys. I'm excited for that.
I'm in.
I can't wait to go to my first one.
I'm in.
It's going to be a good time.
I'm gonna wear a diaper.
Do you have anything to recommend besides Yesterday or Yestercade?
Oh yeah, did you recommend anything?
No, we kind of got off
You guys
track.
told me what to recommend. I can't remember.
Oh, I told you that.
that show that's on Amazon Prime.
Lord of the Rings,
Rings of Power.
Rings of Power.
Yeah,
I watched both of them.
What'd you think?
I only
I
watched
like-
the first episode.
Did you
like
watch
the-
it? But Connor watched it.
Yes.
Did Brady watch it with you?
I
Just
watched it
Connor?
with Connor,
just the 2 of you.
and all this I heard from him sitting next to me.
He rewatched Lord of the Rings yesterday so he can enjoy something again.
9 hours or just like
He just watched the first
first one?
one because he was like he needs to get the bad taste of the show off of him, so he had to watch the actual Lord of the Rings.
See, I don't care about like Lord of the Rings that much. The history of it doesn't bother. Like I don't.
That was the
So-
whole thing. He was like, they're not even following the story. And I was
Yeah.
like, wasn't it like a super dry history of Middle Earth?
I mean, people have been saying that about the Game of Thrones show. What the hell's it called?
House of the Dragon.
That like the scene in the first episode where she has the baby. Like that's like a sentence in the book, and they dragged it out and made it what they did. But
That's what you can
take
do.
it. You can take something and adapt it and make it different. I get Lord of the Rings. Like they only have the rights to like 20 pages at the back of one of the books,
Which
or
is
something.
weird
I
how
don't
they
even-
the
makes
rights are
sense
only
at all.
part of a book and
For $1 billion.
yeah, right?
Yeah, none of it makes sense. But I watched the first episode and I was like, like it was okay.
It's
like
absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it's not going to make me not watch more.
The first one is okay. The second one is good.
Okay. I mean, I'm going to watch it because what else am I doing?
It's got a lot more action in it. Like the first one's all, what's that called? Expository.
I guess. I mean, the first like 20 minutes of that first one with the girl making the boat, and I even said to Michelle, I'm like, I am having a big problem with this stupidity. And then they went to the scene where they showed the men, like all the when they were doing the voiceover and everybody was killing each other. I was like, all right, now finally we got something. But at first I was like, okay. But I saw it was like a 37 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. But it's because all the Lord of the Rings people like hated it.
Yeah. I mean, I get it, man. People can.
Rotten Tomatoes is tough, man.
They can hate bomb something with the reviews.
Are the critics high on it?
Critics
or
like it.
They're good on it. Yeah.
Actually, I mean,
yeah, but the critics were good on the Hobbit series too, and that sucked ass.
Yeah, that was terrible.
So
that's an example of something that's drawn out.
Yeah, that was a 200-page book, and they made 3 movies about it. I remember when Phantom Menace came out, and the early reviews, the professional reviewers were best movie since A New Hope and all that. I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be so great. And then I saw it, and I was like, who said
it's the best Star Wars movie since New Hope?
But
that's what they were trying to say, but it wasn't because
it was terrible.
Yeah,
I mean, I was going to say it's not terrible, but it is terrible.
It's got a 6.5 on IMDb.
What are we talking about? Rings of Power.
Rings of Power.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if we were talking about Phantom Menace or something like that.
I'm trying to find. It's on the web page where it tells you how many are tens and how many are ones. And
Rings of Power. You didn't get that. I can get that.
Well, apparently, there's this whole internet. They're gonna just try to get something ruined by putting low scores out there. So I mean, I saw something where Amazon wasn't even allowing
there you go
or something like that.
Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, 37% audience score, 84% critics score.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's a big disparity.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I'm going to watch it anyway, so we'll find out.
To your point there, there was that thing they did with on Howard Stern for American Idol.
Vote for the worst or whatever.
They were voting for that guy. He was really bad, and he kept winning. He kept getting. He made it far. Sanjaya.
Vote for the worst or something like that. Yeah, I remember when they did that. That's funny.
And they kept voting him, and he made it pretty far into the finals. So.
That's like the GameStop stock.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing. Yeah. And what was it, AMC theaters or?
Yeah.
It was a theater.
Yep. Yeah.
I wish they would open that AMC theater back up in Hamilton.
That's sad that
I don't understand why they shut it down. It was always crowded.
Yeah.
Well, that thing that happened last year or 2 years ago.
I know, but now nobody wants it. Even to try and turn it back.
I can't believe that someone would just not buy it and make it into.
If Regal in Burlington can survive, AMC in Hamilton.
I don't know how that Regal in Burlington. So every movie I go to, there's like 6 people in the theater, and I'm 2 of them.
Exactly. That's why I like going there.
There's a Regal on South Broad Street there.
Oh, the Independence
Mall.
Yeah, I went there a couple times back.
I go to that theater. Yeah,
it has the good stadium or the luxury seats and stuff.
Yeah,
seats.
Yeah.
The only other thing I saw since the last time we did this was today. Michelle and I watched the Taylor Hawkins Foo Fighter tribute concert. He was the drummer for the Foo Fighters. He died a couple months ago, and they did a tribute concert.
When did they do the concert?
It was today. It was live. It was in London, so. We were watching it live.
Oh, isn't there supposed to be several? They're doing different locations. They're doing one in
LA next month or something like that. But
what was it? What channel was that on? Was it streaming somewhere? Or
I think it was Paramount Plus. Okay. I think, but I'm not 100% sure about that. I walked in and Michelle was watching it. And
who were some of the performances that you saw?
Well, so they had Roger Taylor and Brian May from Queen.
I saw Wolfgang.
Wolfgang Van Halen was there.
Yep, I saw him.
Stuart Copeland from the Police was there. They did a couple Police songs. They had Lars Ulrich and Brian Johnson from AC/DC. So
you said it wrong. You said Brian Johnson.
So they did some AC/DC songs, and then they had guys from Queen. They did a bunch of Queen songs. They had
the singer for Queen. Was he there? That kid?
Adam Lambert.
Yeah.
No, he was not there. Okay. No, I thought you were talking about Freddie Mercury. I was like,
no. I meant
No, and they had Getty and Alex from Rush. They did a couple Rush songs.
Wow, really?
They had Sir Paul McCartney was there, and they did a couple Beatles songs. Chrissy Hines, Pretenders. She came out and did a duet with Paul McCartney. And then they did like
How she sounds? I haven't
was
seen
all right.
her in a while. Yeah. I always liked her.
Yeah, she was fine.
Yeah.
And then they did like 20 Foo Fighter songs in a row and had rotating drummers. The dude from Blink 182, Omar Hakim, who had been the drummer for Sting like a million years ago and stuff like that. It was an amazing concert. I mean, they did 50 songs. It was a good time. It was
That's
fun.
nice,
I mean,
yeah.
Carrie, do you know who any of these bands are?
I know some of them.
Yeah.
She knows the
Sorry.
Foo
The
Fighters.
Beatles? Have you ever heard of the Beatles?
Yes, I've heard of the Beatles. Don't you remember my 6th grade graduation? It was
No,
all Beatles
he doesn't
songs.
remember anything.
What'd you do?
It was, like it was a whole bunch of them.
Oh, okay. That's fun.
I like the Beatles. Remember when you were in the Beatles?
Remember you were in the Beatles? Yeah, it was a great concert, and Dave Grohl like almost lost it.
I saw a couple clips.
He almost lost it at one point. I forget which song it was. It was a Foo
Pardon
Fighters
Me,
song,
I think.
maybe. And
Yeah.
he was singing it, and he had to stop singing it. And
That's sad.
Yeah, it was choked up, but it was
very sad. I mean,
but
the guy was 50 years
it was
old.
really nice.
Which is old.
His son came out
I mean,
too.
which is young.
His son,
It is old.
his son played too, right? His son played drums.
Taylor
His
Hawkins' son
16-year-old
played-
son or
yes,
something
he
like that
did,
played
he did.
drums too. Yeah,
He
so
played
it's-
drums. Who else? There was another like unknown drummer. Shit. I don't know. It was a good time though. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was a good time.
Speaking of good times, this has been a good time, and it's been an exciting and new mini podcast, and we can be found on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Spreaker, YouTube, all those places where you get your podcasts and all that good stuff. The Jazoo on Instagram, Jazoo74 on Twitter. I'm Jason.
AE Gonzo 1. I'm Andy.
And I'm Brian, Papa Bad Kitty.
I'm Carrie, and I don't know my Instagram handle. I think it's Carrie_Alvin.
There you go.
Maybe.
You shouldn't have all your info out like that.
Oh,
my
I'm pretty
God.
sure that's what it is.
These kids these days, they don't know.
No.